I was born off Donegal Pass, and I was born in 58 Vernon Street, and went to school and all in Donegal Pass. Well, while we were living in it, we were there all the time during the war, and we used to hear the planes and all going over, and you knew by the sound of them that they were the enemy, you know, from ours. And then I lived at the gasworks, you see, and there was a big mine dropped into it, but it didn't go off because it would have got the whole district obliterated. But our house, the windows and all were broken in it, you know. Well, that was.
Do you remember how you felt as a child? You were young, you know. How did you feel?
Of course it had a wee bit of worry too, because of the war, you know. And then they had built, while we were there, they had built the wee air raid shelters, you know. But it turned out they weren't really awful grand either, you know.
Where did they build them?
Well, they built them in their street. There was one, I lived at the end house, you know, and then there was one there at that, and then there was one in the front, and they put them up with, I remember them getting built and all, you know, and then, but we weren't in any of them during it. I stayed with a half sister in a street just beside us, and we just went in under the table or something, you know, in the bomb. But we were lucky, like, some parts was really devastated, and I remember afterwards we went away up to see all the places that were bombed. But then,
whenever you went up to see them, what do you remember about that?
Oh, it was terrible seeing them all the rumble and all, and then we heard about the people and all that had perished and were killed and all. It was very, very sad, that. But then we were evacuated. And saying that, everybody says when I tell them that, we were evacuated to Slieve Donard Hotel, and there was an English couple, and they just made the money out of us and skimmed with what they were doing to us. And we had no heating, and we got very little food and all, and went to 2 schools in Newcastle too. So my mother, she had her head screwed on, and she decided she wasn't going to stay there any longer. And we went near Annalone, and we got in the wee cottage there.
I was just going to ask you about the Slieve Donard, you know, whenever you were there. You know, what was it like? You know, what sort of a state was it in? Had the war affected it? Was it, you know?
No, just that they weren't bringing the people. It was open to the evacuees, and they weren't bringing the people. And apparently the room that we got had belonged to Baines, the bakery people, you know. But there was a wee grate in it and all, but there was no coal. We didn't get anything to heat it up, and it was the dead of winter. We were there. My brother was 7-year-old in 1943. I think that was right, or 41, and it was his birthday, and that was the day that Pearl Harbor was bombed. And he was 7. Well, they gave us a wee bit of a party that night. But the starters and all, we had to go out. Now, there was a new train police beside us, and we had to go and pick up the coal from it and get wee bits of wood and all to get a wee heat in the fire. And then they didn't feed us well either, because my mother got a wee kipper one time, and she says, "Look at the size of me," and she went to the chef, she says, "Look at the size of me," and looked at the size of it. "Do you think it's badly proportioned? We tiny kipper or something." And then she always told me to drink plenty of milk. There was always plenty of milk, so I drank the milk because I liked the milk, you know. But then we went to the other wee place.
And I wonder how that worked, you know, with your ration books. You know,
yes,
did the hotel take your ration books?
They did, but I think my mother managed to get them back anyway, because we had to be fed where we went to live, you know.